Hi and welcome to this week's energy forecast. I am Rachael Phillips, the creator of the BU Oracle cards and also the Intuition Alignment online program. This week's energy forecast is for July the 2nd through till July the 8th. This week's overall theme is about embracing where your life is and become inspired by the direction that you want to go in. So let's go and have a look and see what cards come up for us this week. The really exciting thing about this week's energy forecast is that as I was shuffling the cards, each and every one of these are jumping cards. Now, for people who may not know what jumping cards are when you're shuffling and your cards just literally jump out of the deck. The meaning behind that is that it's an indication that your soul is saying, hey, take attention. Bring awareness to whatever that card is that's jumped out, because there's a very big message behind it for you. And because each card was a jumping card, that is very, very significant because it doesn't happen very often. And it means that this week's message is very important for you to be able to take on board. So as I said, this week is about embracing your life of where it is right now and becoming inspired by any direction that you want to go in from this moment. So let's go and have a look and see what comes up. Monday and Tuesday is moon cycles. Wednesday through till Friday is the courage card. We've got a bit of a glare going on there. And Saturday and Sunday is, let's see if we can get them so you can see them, is the card of contentment. So starting with this week's Monday and Tuesday's card, it is about knowing that we've just had a full moon. And as we're aware, full moon is about bringing things to the surface. You will be starting to notice that there are little drops of memories that are bringing forth into your consciousness about certain places, situations, events, situations that have occurred in your life. And I'm a big believer in understanding the fact that no one gets through life unscathed. We all get to this certain point in our life where we all have a beautiful story of being able to share with how we have grown into the person that we have, or how we have become shaped by certain situations and events. But what usually happens with that is that we take a step back and we start to feel like these things happen to us, and we remove the element of onus and responsibility. This week is very much a big part of taking onus and responsibility for where your life is at. You may not have been the cause of why that situation or event occurred in your life, but there is a responsibility that you played a role in it. And it may be the outcome, it may be how you dealt with it, maybe the choices that you made after it, maybe the fact of you kept certain things hidden because you felt embarrassed or ashamed of certain things that happened to you. Or you could be feeling that disempowerment, like you didn't have a choice in that situation. There is always a part that we always play in any situation, and the moment that we embrace it is the moment that we become empowered. It is not a matter of taking responsibility for someone else's choices. It is only about the responsibility that you play to your own and being able to just simply own it. Because the moment that we own any of the situations or events that have occurred in our life and understand that you've played an integral role in it, is the moment that we let go of that aspect of ourselves of trying to hide it, suppress it, push it down, or taking on board the emotions of I'm not good enough, or whatever the story was that you continue to play out afterwards. This is that moment where we go, you know what, those things happened. They're a part of my past. Keyword, past. There are certain key points that have shaped the person that I have. But today I embrace the element of being able to go, you know what, I'm going to let it go so I can get back into my flow and start living 100% present within your life. When we hide things, we push things away, or we pretend that they don't happen because we move from a space of either embarrassment or shame or ego, because our ego can play a role in it and go, you know what, it was someone else's fault, that wasn't mine, blah, 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 and make it all about the other person. then we forget to be remembered, or we forget to remind ourselves just how incredibly powerful we are, and that we can create change in an instant, just like that. The moment that you decide to let go of those certain things that you have been either using or as an excuse, and I don't want that to sound like I'm being really harsh, but we've all had moments in our life that go, because of that, that's why I don't do something, or, this person did this to me and now that's why I've decided to, put my barriers up. They all come down to personal choices that we make, and we are the driver of our own vehicle. This is the moment where we become really, really inspired, and every time one of those memories jumps into your consciousness, remind yourself that your soul is saying to you that you don't need to hold on and harbor those lower vibrating energies anymore, because you are stronger than that. You are not the sum of all of your events or experiences in life. They were a point, and that's all, a point in your life that happened to change maybe how you have grown into the person. But it is not the full sum of the reason why, because then we move into victim mindset, and this is not what this week is about, is becoming inspired and going, you know what? This thing happened to me. I accept that position that I took on in that event or situation, but today I decide where I want to go from this very governing moment. And this is where we start to take our own personal power back and realize that you have freedom of choice right from this very moment. Where do you want your life to go from this very moment? Do you want those old stories where you fell into a little bit of victim mindset? Do you want that to be the sole purpose or sole reason why you're not living life fully? And you know what? When we all, and I say this, we all have had moments where we have moved the blame towards someone else, is the moment that we take away our own empowerment. We take away a part of ourselves. We give a bit of our own personal power to someone else. And this is the week that we take them back. So I've been thinking about this, and this was just something that just dropped into my own consciousness as I was thinking about this week's forecast. And it was something that I had a little bit of a play around. So I'm going to share with you, and maybe you may be able to find that it gives you an expression of freedom. Every time that I had something drop into my own consciousness around certain situations, people or places or events in my life, I simply visualized that I took that aspect or that situation and I put it into a bubble. But first I took responsibility, and I went in and I explored what was my role in that situation. Then when I could come to a new perspective where I took and accepted a full responsibility for my position in that situation, then I put it into this beautiful bubble. And then I just blew it away to the universe, for angels, guides, whatever it is that you perceive outside of yourself, for them to take care of the healing, because I had taken on that responsibility of what my position was in that, and that accepting part. And every time I did that, I felt like I was actually giving part of myself back to me. So you may find that that may be something that may be able to help you this week. And when you come to that conclusion of accepting of where you want to be, then we move into the card of courage. That's when we start to move into that space where we start to realize that you really are the driver of your vehicle, and wherever you want to go from this moment, the world is your oyster, and you have the opportunity to do, be, and have whatever you want in this moment. Because all it takes is for you to believe in yourself. But when you've left other parts of yourself around with other people, we can't take on board to fully believe in ourselves, because we're not fully present. But because I know that all of you are going to take that onus and responsibility back, you're going to start learning to believe in yourself. You're going to start seeing or feeling or knowing into that anything is possible from this moment on. And you will also discover that there will be beautiful little droplets of consciousness brought into your reality for you to become more aware of that. And it may be thoughts like, you can do this, you've got it, I'm going to back you 100%, I believe in you. They're the kind of little conversations that are going to start dropping into your consciousness, because that's your soul saying, hey, the best thing that you can do for yourself is to believe in yourself, because when you believe in yourself, you are limitless. And that is what it's all about. And as we move into that space of feeling more empowered by the choices and taking that onus and responsibility of knowing that you're the driver of your vehicle and that anything is possible from this moment on. So watch out for magical moments, because this will occur this week. We will start to notice that all of a sudden, things that seemed outside of your reach are now going to be coming closer and closer and closer for you to be able to just grab hold of those opportunities that present themselves, because you're ready for it. That's the most important thing for you to remember this week, is that come Wednesday through to Friday, all of these beautiful magical moments and beautiful opportunities that present itself, say yes to them, because you're saying yes to you, because you've done the work. You are now moving into a space where you can fully believe in everything about yourself. And that is powerful. And when that beautiful realization comes through, we move into a beautiful space of, I do apologize, I cannot seem to get the light to not reflect on the cards this week. We move into this beautiful space of moving into a period of contentment come this weekend. And that contentment comes because you have full holism going on within your own self. You have taken back your power. You have accepted your life to date. And you have become inspired by the fact of knowing that any step that you want to take from this point on, you can achieve. All you need to be able to do is be able to plan and map it out and take one tiny little step at a time. And you can accomplish anything. And that gives us a great sense of feeling and experiencing a moment of total freedom. Freedom of letting go of all of those restraints. A freedom of breaking through those limitations that you've had. A freedom from feeling a victim. A freedom from feeling that life is happening to you and you're not a part of it. Freedom to discover that anything that you wish or desire, you can manifest. Freedom to actually live fully present within your life. And that allows the soul to soar, and the heart becomes incredibly open. Because as humans, we need to experience freedom. We cannot have a life that is all about structure and conformity. We all need to have an expression of freedom, because when we are in that moment of total freedom and acceptance, then life really does start to unfold like a beautiful, magical story. And the story is however you want your life to be from this moment on. You decide that. So as you can see, this week is very, very, very powerful, the messages that are coming through. And I want you to truly embrace the fact that this is the moment to start to level up and start learning to believe in yourself on higher magnitudes than you've ever felt before. Now, some people can feel like that comes from, telling yourself that you believe in yourself can be egotistical, and it's not. You've got to remember, you've got to be able to have a healthy level of ego and a healthy level of logic at the same time too. So if you've got that inner voice that's saying that I believe in you, I've got your back, then feel into those words. Feel into how does that feel to truly believe the words that are being said to you. Give yourself little moments throughout this week to really engage your senses and what that really means for you, because you know what? The moment that we allow our mind, body, and soul and spirit to become all as one, and all of that as vibrating that you do truly believe in yourself, that's magical in itself. That is the gift that you can give to yourself this week. So, as you can see, it's a pretty exciting week, and I hope that you all have a beautiful week. And if this video resonates with someone that you may know, please feel free to share, and I will see you next week. Much love to you all, and take care.